In this Indian village, it hasn't rained for 8 months. What comes out of these wells is valued above rubies. As the months drag by and the wells get lower, water, or the lack of it, becomes India's overriding preoccupation. Drought sets in all over the country. Everyone yearns for the great life-giving phenomenon that one day, garlanded in lightning and booming with thunder, will progress majestically out of the southern skies. As the burst of the monsoon arrives, you can almost hear India giving a deep, collective sigh of relief. There is a sense of a country stirring, awakening, coming to life. The monsoon is a time of joy, rejuvenation, hope. Join us now as we travel the length of the subcontinent, from the Spice Coast of the south to the foothills of the Himalayas, chasing India's monsoon. Here in the parched and thirsty heart of India, everyone awaits news from a small town far away in the tropical south. It's called Trivandrum, and it's the place where, traditionally on the 1st of June, the monsoon arrives over India. Now London journalist Alexander Frater is heading for Trivandrum too. His aim is to meet the monsoon and travel with it on its 2-month journey all the way up to the foothills of the Himalayas. But where is the monsoon? Will it be late? Might it not turn up at all? That's happened before, with disastrous consequences for the whole country. People here in Trivandrum are edgy and nervous. There's a lot of tension in the air.
Do you know when the monsoon's coming?
Actually, June 1st.
June the 1st?
Yeah, June the 1st. Tomorrow, rainy will come or not.
What's this
Sometime, yeah. Sometime they are giving information. The rainy will come.
Yeah.
No rainy today.
You're on the wrong side of the road here.
No, I am right.
Well,
right side. Huh? So they are coming wrong side. Huh?
they're coming wrong
Yeah.
side. My God, they all like that.
That time.
All of India waits for something to happen here in this bay. But only a few, perhaps Frater included, will actually witness the arrival of India's annual miracle. The monsoon is out there somewhere, lurking over the southern horizon. But when will it come? Trivandrum's weathermen are charged with the task of peering over the horizon and sniffing the onset of the monsoon wind.
VWF 497, VWF 497, please come online. Over.
Each year they conjure up a kind of railway timetable, drawn up to chart the progress of the advancing wall of water. The monsoon fuels the country's economic engine. Throughout India, it holds the front page both nationally and locally. Alexander Frater knows that a bad monsoon can lead directly to recession. It can even lead to the ousting of elected officials. Much is at stake. The morning papers say the burst will be declared in 48 hours. But the morning sky seems to tell a different story. Could it be coming even earlier? At a local coffee shop, the monsoon hijacks every conversation. When would it come? Everyone has a different story, a different day, a different time.
Whatever the Met Office says will never be true.
Is it really?
He's
a non-believer.
He's a non-believer.
The only thing they agree on is that the weathermen never get it right.
It's a major news story on the front page.
Yes, right? It is. It is always the rain is the news about rain is always important. It may rain and it.
For Frater, the debate would soon come to an end.
I noticed that something very interesting was happening outside. It was raining.
Could this be the arrival of the monsoon? That is monsoon. He says that's the monsoon.
He's a farmer.
Yes.
He doesn't need any Met Office data. He says it is the rain, and that's why he always carry an umbrella with him.
The farmer spoke with the calm authority of one who instinctively understood the seasons. He said it was here, and he was the one I chose to believe.
Maybe I trust the farmer.
This was it, all right. I knew with absolute certainty it had come. All at once the air was fluid and fizzing and charged with the lovely dripping garden smells of wet earth, grass and flowers. This was real tropical rain, falling with a kind of metallic weight and mass. Mysterious squalls of jasmine and frangipani gusted through the town and lingered here and there in fragrant air pockets. An Indian poet said the meeting of earth and cloud was a kind of lovemaking, and there was indeed a subtle sensuousness in the air. I felt exhilaration and a terrific sense of well-being. The fields and forests had been invaded by a kind of magic. I feel strangely at home here. The first sounds I ever heard were those of torrential rain. I was born on a remote island in the southwest Pacific where my father, a doctor, told me that 2.1 inches of rain fell on the night of my birth. On the wall of my nursery hung a picture sent by a family friend, a Scottish missionary, living in the isolated Indian hill station of Cherrapunji. It looked a bit like this one, in the hotel room, and showed a village ringed by waterfalls and rainbows. Cherrapunji enjoys one remarkable claim to fame. It is the wettest place in the world. My father never made it there, but tomorrow I shall be starting to chase the monsoon up India, and that, God willing, is where it will take me.
The monsoon is what the weathermen call an oscillating current. which means that a dry spell after heavy rain is perfectly normal. Now you see it, now you don't. But it's out there somewhere, traveling at a steady 3 miles an hour. The plan is to follow it on its long journey north, all the way to Cherrapunji, that remote, cloud-bound hill village celebrated in the Guinness Book of Records. In Cherrapunji, they can get 40 inches in a single day. One year's rainfall totaled a whopping 86 feet. Frater's next stop is the city of Cochin, one of India's oldest and busiest ports. The ticket for several hours steaming time is the price of a cup of tea. These ancient ferries plying Kerala's inland waterways are floating country buses, stopping constantly at the tiny backwater settlements not served by roads. With the burst come the umbrella menders, descending on the villages and charging exorbitant prices. They're city men, cheerfully exploiting their country cousins. She complains, but fatalistically, knowing she's been caught again. It's an annual visitation, with the umbrella men always timing their visits for maximum profit. Beyond the village stand the ancient Chinese nets, used for pulling fish out of these backwaters for centuries. They may have come at the time of Kublai Khan, who established an embassy here. He wanted to buy the pepper, pearls, silks, spices, and diamonds for which this coast was celebrated throughout the ancient world. The coast was also famous for the mystery mud banks, which each year form off the port of Cochin. They come with the monsoon, and the waters above them seethe with fish, creating a real gold rush fever. For a few miraculous days, the crews of these flimsy, beautiful craft can pull out thousands of dollars worth in a single haul. It's the bountiful time of Chagara. When Chagara comes, the skippers sometimes carry swords to fight off their rivals. Chagara divides townships, communities, even families and friends. St. Francis Church at Cochin was built by the Portuguese midway through the 16th century. Since then, it has echoed to the languages and religions of the European powers who have moved in and out of Cochin. In the 17th century, it became Dutch Protestant. In the 18th, English Anglican. Now it's used by a church with Anglican origins, the Church of South India. The language of this Old Testament reading may not be familiar, but the passage is. And the windows of the heavens were opened, and rain fell upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Vasco da Gama, the famed Portuguese explorer, died in Cochin. And before they shipped him back to Lisbon, his remains rested here in this tomb. He made his reputation and fortune on this coast, having first ridden in on the crest of the 1498 monsoon. Kalaripayat, a form of martial arts, was introduced to this South Indian state by Japanese monks centuries ago. Novices begin their training at age 8 and start with the burst of the monsoon. Once this was compulsory for every child in the state, boy and girl alike. Then the British banned it. Too many mortal duels were being fought. Too many people were killing each other. Today, this art may appear to be carefully formalized, a kind of martial pas de deux, but Kalaripayat can still be deadly.
Now the monsoon is ahead of me. We're shadowing it, slipping up the coast towards Goa at 30,000 feet. On such a calm, resplendent evening, this seems the most appropriate way to travel. The monsoon is, after all, a creature of the skies.
In Goa, the monsoon seems to be already established. India's love affair with the monsoon is based on rice, and its advance will be marked everywhere by small farmers and their families, knee-deep in mud, mentally blessing each seedling before placing it in the earth, blessing the rains, and praying for their continuation. This is real Indian rain, but it's falling on a distinctly un-Indian place. Portugal also colonized this stretch of Indian coast, and they hung on even longer than the British. When the Indian government finally chased them away in 1961, the Portuguese left behind 4.5 centuries of influence. In the Goan monsoon, your umbrella becomes a kind of bodily extension, an extra limb carried with you everywhere. In the countryside, an ancient engine seems to be coming to life, settling into a deep, slow, comforting rhythm, which will govern the lives and actions of the villagers over the next 3 months.
Coconut fenny is the drink of the monsoon. Village distilleries work overtime, producing a cool weather liquor which warms the heart, but goes straight to the head. The Feast of St. John is a monsoon fiesta. It celebrates the fact that the wells are starting to fill. St. John allegedly jumped twice in his mother's womb, so you're supposed to jump twice into every well. well owners reward the jumpers with a bottle of coconut fenny. As the day wears on, the jumpers get progressively more tanked up until by evening they'd be ready to do this off the top of a cliff. In Go and Fenny shops, the atmosphere after dark is more Latin than Indian. Everyone plays carom, a kind of poor man's billiards, without the cue. What about this finger technique? Which finger? This finger?
Left.
Yeah?
This one.
You're mucking me around.
Don't worry, this one.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All ready for this?
Yes.
A glass or two of fenny may strengthen a player's resolve, but it may also give him double vision. You can make cocktails with this stuff, but we hard men take our fenny straight.
Oh dear.
Well-to-do Indian tourists usually come to Goa because it's almost another country. Early in June, they show up for just one reason: the monsoon. With the foreigners all gone, they take over the big resort hotels, brought in by a shrewd promotional campaign which urges them to come and stay during the monsoon. It's clever because it's appealing to something deep in the Indian psyche, an incredibly romantic feeling about rain. But this is a sanitized affair, a glossy magazine monsoon, a package holiday for the big city rich.
The 4:30 train back to the real India departs Goa's land of mirrors. Soon the faint, ghostly reflections of another age, a faraway country, will be replaced by the grimy urban realities of Bombay, 300 miles to the north. The monsoon, some distance ahead and also moving according to its own mysterious timetable, is due in Bombay on the 10th of June. We should make it a clear 2 days before.
Cut. It's fine, lovely.
In India, illusion and reality often become hopelessly entangled. Here at Bombay's Film City, illusion has become big business. Bombay, with its 9 months of guaranteed sunshine, is the Hollywood of India. But today there is a sense of real urgency in the hot, still air.
Slowly, yaar, jara धीरे करो, धीरे करो. उनको चुप करने को बोलो. Okay, silence. जरा सा थोड़ा ऊपर, please. धीरे से ऊपर चलो, जरा सा ऊपर, थोड़ा सा. वाह. जैसा struggle करो, जैसा कुछ देख लेते. उसको छूटने की बंदोबस्त करो, छूट रहा है जैसा. छूटता है. थोड़ा सा, बस हल्का, बिल्कुल.
This song and dance extravaganza is being filmed on the most expensive set in the history of the Bombay film industry. Its producer, N. Chandra, has made only 3 movies, but all were huge hits at the box office. On the surface, all appears to be going smoothly. But actually, there's a very big problem. The walls of Chandra's multi-million rupee set are made of papier-mâché. The monsoon deluge will dismantle it within hours, and the monsoon is due on Thursday. All over Film City, they're rushing to complete their sequences. For these people, Thursday could be a little like the end of the world. In the straight-laced world of Indian cinema, myths need metaphors, signposts, indicating to an audience what is really going on. One of the most potent of these is rain. In filmic terms, the monsoon means sex. Indians regard it as a time of steamy, smoldering passion. On the next lot, the boy meets girl theme is being staged by yet another director.
Oh, the nozzle showed in, please. Yeah. The water nozzle showed in.
In a country where people can riot over water, this showbiz extravagance could be regarded as blasphemous. In India, rain has attained a kind of sanctity. It even has its own god. In southern India, the question was, when will the monsoon come? In this small Rajasthan village where it hasn't rained for 2 years, the question is far more profound. Will it come at all? The specter of drought, even the terrible unspoken prospect of famine, is the other side of the monsoon coin. People, whole communities, pray for rain. Priests light fires and perform pujas. Certain songs sung a certain way will bring on the rains. But not yet. But now, the desert states are united by a single profound longing. Late in the month of June, Rajasthan dreams of rain. This place is a recurring Indian dream realized in stone. It represents munificence, ease, plenty. A vision of paradise made possible by a miracle of plumbing. But to the Maharaja who built this monsoon pavilion 200 years ago, it also represented power. Then, you measured a ruler's prestige by the size of his palace, the might of his army, and by his ability to be willfully extravagant with water. Here at a whim, his 3,000 fountains could reproduce a kind of intimate boudoir monsoon. In his pavilion of the rains, enjoying the sensations, if not the substance of the monsoon, he could distance himself from the world beyond the palace walls. After independence, perhaps because of too many conceits and extravagances like this one, India kicked out its Maharajas. Here at Deeg, The Monsoon Pavilion now stands empty, its worn-out fountains tested just once a year.
And to me, that seemed appropriate. It's a preposterous folly erected by some showman who today would have been running theme parks. I longed for the sounds, smells and sensations of the real India. The monsoon has two arms which annually clasp India in a watery embrace. I've been following the western one, but now I've entered the domain of the eastern arm and the ramshackle city of Calcutta. Until 1912, Calcutta was the capital of British India, built as the second city of the empire. The British erected their great public buildings and monuments, and then, when the place got too crowded for them, packed up and installed themselves in a brand new, more spacious capital in Delhi, leaving Calcutta to fester and drown in its own mud. The Brits who lived here a century or two ago had mixed feelings about Calcutta in the monsoon. Kipling called it a muck heap, while others noted that insects and undertakers were the only creatures to thrive in the monsoon climate. But I like Calcutta's exuberance and optimism, its courage, camaraderie and energy. Indeed, it's my favorite Indian city. Yet today, there's a sadness about Calcutta, a feeling that time may be running out.
Perhaps the most enduring monument to British rule lies underground. Calcutta's sewers were built 200 years ago, at the same time as London's. Hopelessly inadequate and close to collapse, the dilapidated system is nevertheless kept working. Just.
If 6 inches of rains uniformly fall during 24
Each year, with the arrival of the rains, the sewers go straight to the top of the town hall agenda.
But in that 1 hour, even ½ inch is bound to water.
Kamal Kumar Basu is mayor of Calcutta, charged with the governance of a city widely regarded as ungovernable. Confronted yet again by the prospect of widespread flooding and waterlogging, he is hamstrung by funding problems. Calcutta is, effectively, bankrupt. Nearly half of Calcutta's population are refugees from the countryside, driven here by famine, floods, or failed harvests, victims of the monsoon's excesses. They see nothing romantic or seductive about the monsoon.
I find that despite all the hardships and tribulations, Calcutta people are great survivors. They're different from other Indians. There's a weird sort of gaiety about them, as though they teeter on the verge of the apocalypse and are determined to squeeze more out of each passing day. The British conceived Calcutta as a gracious European city placed on Indian soil. its founding fathers could little have imagined that one day it would be barely controllable, that Calcutta and civic order would become mutually contradictory terms. Here and there, however, a few pockets of the old order remain. The Tollygunge Club is alleged to be the most exclusive in India. Its members, who are vetted by a godlike admissions committee, have to wait years to get in. Tonight is one of the highlights of the Calcutta social year. The Tollygunge is throwing its annual monsoon party. The rich, in turn, have absorbed this most British of clubs and made it uniquely their own. The women may dance in saris to homogenized Western music, but it's as familiar to them as the oldest ragas. Eventually, the guest of honor shows up. The monsoon finally has come to the monsoon party. But the distant, cloud-bound world I'm due to visit next promises to be a far, far stranger place. Tomorrow I'll start the last leg of my journey, on north towards the Himalayas, chasing the Indian monsoon. My route north takes me over Bangladesh, devastated by monsoon floods. Here, the monsoon doesn't nourish, it punishes. Compounded by Himalayan snowmelt water and torrential rain cascading off deforested foothills, it's a force to be feared. Death and destruction are the dark sides of the monsoon's nature. Cherrapunji lies in the state of Meghalaya. Here, the cloud cover is so permanent that it's the only Indian state you can reliably pick up on the weather radar. I'm approaching the end of the trail. The watery landscape that hung on my wall all those years ago is out there somewhere, but living and three-dimensional, with real people in it.
Frater seems to have left India and the real world far behind and entered a kind of lost cloud kingdom. The Cherrapunji people belong to an ethnic group called Khasi. They speak the Khasi language and indulge in ancient passion for archery. Khasi bowmen can shoot accurately over formidable distances, 200 yards or more. From time, to demonstrate their eagerness to get independence from India, they stage riots and protests. Their sense of separateness is due to origins from somewhere deep in Southeast Asia. The story goes that until the beginning of this century, they always sent the king of Burma a ceremonial axe on his birthday. Cherrapunji is famous for its tropical fruits and for its delicious orange-flavored honey. It is said that during the monsoon, when the ground is too marshy for burials, corpses are placed in vats of honey to preserve them. Frater wonders if it is then bottled and sold here in the market, a question that local historian Bob Bling won't honor with an answer. Bling is a respected man and the keeper of Cherrapunji's conscience.
Up to now, I'd never got around to buying an umbrella, but all at once I was fed up with rain.
8 rupees, or you fix it?
Yes. Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
You fix it? How much is this one?
25.
25. That's rather nice. You like that one?
Yes.
Bit small though, huh? For this
yes,
rain.
Yes. It helps us on the rain.
It's also leaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
In Cherrapunji, if you want advice about the future, you don't bother with stars or crystal balls. You ask the eggs. My question is, will this be a good monsoon, and will it lead to a good harvest?
Yes. The harvest will be good. The season is also good.
So the egg has fallen the right way.
Yes.
Good.
And the season also is good.
This old British hill station was not a happy posting for expatriates. Many of the people lying here were suicides, driven to despair by isolation and the remorseless, unceasing rain. The first Europeans to penetrate India even coined a grim little proverb: 2 monsoons are the age of man. Some of the Britons buried here died in 1861, the year the Cherrapunji weatherman recorded that astonishing figure of 86 feet. The real concern of Indians today, though, is not just records, but the survival of the monsoon itself. Factors like deforestation and the destruction of the ozone layer may contribute to the monsoon's increasingly capricious and eccentric nature. Everyone prays that no lasting damage has been done. The torrential rain of Cherrapunji is here, they sing. It bathes the earth as thunder fights the clouds high in the sky. This song was written by a local poet, and poets are plentiful in Cherrapunji. The legacy of a remarkable Welsh missionary, the Reverend Thomas Jones, who devised the Khasi alphabet and imbued in his parishioners a passion for creative writing. And it's mostly about rain. The fact is, in Cherrapunji, they relish their rain.
From our boyhood till we become old, we got the rains every rainy season. We don't want to murmur with God who gave us rain. We don't want to murmur because it is a custom, a long established custom. Rain comes for 4 months or 5 months, and we cannot fight the rain or sending him back from here to heaven. No, we cannot do. We only have to be willingly accept the rain when its season has come.
Yes, you're a philosopher.
Yes.
Could this waterfall have been the one in my childhood picture? It hardly matters. Finally confronting it after all these years has, in a sense, brought me full circle. My father, pondering his tropical weather systems on our South Seas island, likened Cherrapunji to the meteorological equivalent of a station of the cross. He often spoke of coming here, but never did. So, in a sense, I've made the journey for both of us. The monsoon had left me with a marvelous sense of well-being. I felt younger, stronger, happier, healthier, the way each year it's supposed to leave India itself. This monsoon proved to be a good one, and finally those Rajasthan farmers got their rain. The Cherrapunji eggman had been right.
But uncertainty about future monsoons continues. Without the monsoon, India would become a nation of deserts and dry wells. And in time, people would gradually forget that once the key to the soul of India, the colors, the moods, the scents, the poetry, the heightened expectations, the kind of beauty that made your heart miss a beat, that, indisputably, had been the monsoon.